Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to the next Ancient Empires faction overview. Today we are going to be looking at the Saba. Now these guys have a lot of really unique cool units. They have a lot of cav, but their spear infantry is something I'm going to focus on just a little bit longer, and we're definitely going to be using some of these spear infantry in the battle, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Let's get right down into it. So starting right off the bat, we have some Royal Escorts. Tier 2 Spear Infantry. They have a charge value of 4, melee offense of 9, melee defense of 12, armor value at 8, and a morale at 13. I mean, they're going to be some pretty good Spear Infantry units, and they won't waver too awfully quick, and they're pretty cheap at 308 talents per. Royal Bodyguard. These guys are even more buffed, and for not that much more. They have a melee offense of 11, a melee defense of 12, armor value at 12, and a morale at 15. These guys, they're also resistant to heat, mind you, so they are going to be awesome in desert combat, and they will very much excel there. But that fails nothing at all to the Royal Guard. Charge value of 6, melee offense at 13, melee defense at 19. That is insane. Armor value at 12 and a morale at 16. These Royal Guard will not. I just don't think they will rout. I don't know that it's possible for them to rout. And they are resistant to heat. So again, in that desert desert scenario, they're going to excel absolutely. Next up, we have our Spear Infantry, and this is where it gets really fun. Actually, not until the end, but regardless. Levied Spearmen, these are going to be your typical Tier 1. Not all that great. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 4, melee defense of 9, which is actually decently high, but again, they're Spear Infantry. Armor value at 5 and a morale at 6. We're going to move on to the Citizen Militia Spearmen. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 6, melee defense of 11, armor value at 6, and morale at 8. Makes them pretty good Tier 2 Spear Infantry, even with that lack of armor. We have City-State Spearmen, which see an increase in melee offense, charge value, melee defense, armor value, and morale. So that's good. But here's what I really wanted to get into. Camel-mounted troops and camel-mounted infantry. Now the camel-mounted troops do not have a good charge value. They have poor defense, offense, poor melee defense, armor value at 6, and a morale at 9. Whereas the camel-mounted infantry have a decently padded more stats. Melee defense is higher, armor value is higher, and so is the morale. Now I'm sure you're wondering, why the crap do you have camel-mounted infantry and camel-mounted troops in the Spear Infantry division, which honestly camel-mounted infantry should probably be in melee infantry. But here's the deal. This is what it was explained to me, and I've actually played with Attila in a battle. He used the Saba. What you're supposed to do with these two units is they are supposed to scooch across the battlefield on their camels, get off of their camels, and then be a flanking force. Right like that. They can move. They don't move fast. They're camels. But still, that's what they're used for. They're not camel-mounted infantry. They're not meant to be used as cav units. They're literally meant to scooch around the field to create a flanking force, one that's quick and mobile and everything like that. So it's going to be really cool to see if we can pull that off, and I'm going to try to be a little sneaky and see if we can execute it very well. Next up, we have quite a few melee units, and as you can see, we have these Arab nobles, and they are pretty cool. We have Arab swordsmen. These guys are going to be pretty good light melee infantry units. Melee offense of 8, melee defense of 11, armor value at 7, and morale at 10 make them pretty decent light melee troops for sure. I think they pack a little more punch, but I think it's just their armor value is why they're called light melee. We have Arab Thorakitai. Armor or melee offense of 8, melee defense of 13, armor value at 8, and a morale at 11 make them really good tier 3 melee units. But now we have Arab nobles from the early, the middle, and the late. Obviously, these guys are going to see improvements across the board. But what's really unique is these guys, much like, oh goodness, I can't think of them. I think I just did them. Wow. The guys who have played against the Ptolemaic Kingdom, I can't think of their name right now, which is really, really bad. They had this similar unit. They had heavy melee infantry, but they had a bow. They had the ability to shoot a bow. Now, these guys do not have poison attack, but they do have a flaming shot. If you want to use that, they are resistant to heat, things of that nature. So using these Arab nobles just really gets a good idea. You could use your spear infantry to hold the line for a little bit, use your Arab nobles to fire at the enemy, and then being able to use them as heavy melee troops as well. Moving down to bow infantry, we have Arab levied archers, and these guys are probably need to be the same stats as the citizen archers. The citizen archers, as I mentioned before, have a ranged offense of 8 that needs to be nerfed. Probably down to 3 would work because they're essentially the same thing as Arab levied archers. Ammunition is on average. Ranged offense at 3 is average. Everything about them is average. They are not going to last in any kind of a battle because they have poor melee offense and defense and poor morale. Next up, we have Citizen Militia Archers, and they're basically just going to see some stats in terms of offense, defense, armor, and morale. They still wouldn't really last, but they last longer than their Arab levied counterparts. And then we have City-State Archers. These guys have a good amount of ammo. Their ranged offense is higher. Their missile range doesn't increase, but they do have pretty decent stats, which will keep them in a battle long enough, hopefully, to draw some reinforcements to be able to take out whoever's attacking them. As for skirmishers, we have the same kind of deal. It's going to start with Arab levied skirmishers, get to citizen militia, and finally end with city-state. City-state are going to actually have a pretty good high melee defense, armor, and morale. So use them to your own risk. We have a lot of melee cav. Now we do have melee cav that are camel riders. So again, just using them as you see fit. Caravan Guard. These guys are actually really good, I think. They have a charge value of 8, melee offense of 7. They have poor melee defense, and then their armor value isn't all that great, but the morale at 8 makes them pretty good units. Being camel units, they are going to be slower though. Next up, we have Citizen Militia Cav, and they actually don't see. They actually lose a good charge value in melee offense, but they make up for that melee defense, armor value, and morale. Moving on to Frontier Guard. Literally the only difference is these guys have a ranged attack, but they lose a little bit of melee defense. City-State Cav are going to be some good tier 3 melee units to use. Charge value 7, melee offense at 6, melee defense of 8, armor value at 7, and morale at 11. Make them pretty good units. Now when I first saw these guys, these Arab horses, I thought they were Zeras, okay? I'm throwing it out there. That's just what they look like. I mean, look at that. I thought they were zebras. I got really, really excited and then found out they weren't, and I was really disappointed. But, to which Attila laughed at me, at my face. It was very rude. But, as you can see, these Arab noble horse from the early period, they're going to see a drastic increase in armor value as well as charge value and melee offense. The morale is still good at 11, still very solid units. Middle, they obviously see stats padded just a little bit, and then of course in late you get a high melee defense as well as some uptick in morale. All of these are capped at 4 per army. Citizen State are capped at 5, as are the militia. And then last but not least, we have Arab Cataphracts, capped out at 11. They have an excellent charge value, a high melee offense, weak melee defense, so you do not want to get these guys engaged in any melee troops. Armor value of 14 and a morale at 14 make them very nice Cataphracts. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Alright guys, you know the deal. Let's get down to business, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Alright everybody, let's get right into this battle. Now again, we are playing as the Saba, and these guys, I'm actually really excited to play as them. It'll be an interesting, much different style of battle than what I'm used to. I'm used to having a very good central core and having the ability to flank. I don't have that this time around, and we're going to try some different tactics, especially with our camel-mounted infantry. We are playing against the Ptolemaic Kingdom. Now, I know I play against these guys a lot, but I do try to keep it semi-historically accurate in the sense that I'm going to use units that were present and that would fight against these factions just to make the battle, you know, a little more plausible. I mean, sure, in Total War, Romans could be fighting Media Atropatene. They could be fighting all those guys in the far corners of the earth that they historically probably wouldn't have ever touched, but it just makes sense for me to give you some more historical context. I mean, both these guys fighting in the middle of the desert, that probably happened at some point in time, and plus these guys are terrifying but amazing. I want to own the Ptolemaic Kingdom, and I don't know if it'll happen, but we're going to give it our best. So let's get down to our unit comps, and then we'll get straight into the battle. We have 2 units of city-state spearmen here holding the middle. Now these guys are going to have some very good melee defense, but I don't know how long they will actually last. They do have a brace spears ability, which I will probably use just to give us a little bit of extra buffs, especially if those cab decide to charge those lines. We have 2 units of Arab swordsmen over here. These guys look really cool, just chilling in their shorts, just chilling. And there are wicker shields. Yeah, we might get owned by the Ptolemaic Kingdom in this one, but we'll see. We'll see. And then over here, I have 3 units of Arab nobles of the late period. And again, they can kind of be on their own because they will have a decent ranged attack, and then they will be able to engage in melee. So it'll be really interesting to see how well they do. 2 units of city-state skirmishers. Over here, these guys are just going to be your run-of-the-mill skirmishers, but I wanted to use them. And then, let's see, what else do we have? We have a couple of city-state archers as well. A little better equipped with that that scale armor. Looking pretty good, though. We have, over here, this is where it gets really fun. We have 2 units of Arab noble horse of the late period. Now, these guys look really cool, and again, it's that weird little banding that they have around these horsemen that made them think, that made me think that they were zebras at first. Alright, I had to leave real quick, but I'm back. Let's see. So we were talking about our melee cav over here. Arab noble horse, they should be pretty good. These Arab cataphracts look really cool. I like how all of their eyes, just about all their eyes are covered. That looks really sweet. And they have a really good color variations with these cataphracts. Most of the cataphracts that we've seen have all been pretty much the same color, that scale armor overlapping and everything, but these guys have a nice color range, and I like that a lot. And then last but not least, look at all these camels. Our camel-mounted infantry. We're going to try and do our best to use these like they're kind of supposed to be used, so they will be used late. I'm going to do my best to use them later in the battle, so we'll get these guys engaged, hopefully run off the cav, and then I'm going to quick deploy them around and hopefully be able to flank. So that's the game plan. Let's see how well we execute it. So I'm going to move, let's see. Oh, they're getting a little strategic, aren't they? We're actually going to move over here. I think they're going to try their best to not get flanked by my spear cav. No, no, no. No, no, no. What are they doing? They are doing something. Let's see. We could take on their Persis cav. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't secure an early lead with our cav. Now they do have their skirmisher cav right behind, and their Agima cav, but these paid cav are getting tied up into the troop movement. See, these guys are not fast at all, but again, they're a heck of a lot faster than just pure spear infantry, so it makes sense to use them as such. Let's see if they're going to try and lay a trap for me. Spring it. Spring it, I know you want to. There it goes. I'm ready for you now. We're going to go over here. Get out of the way. Then hit those Agima. Turn around and hit those Agima. We're going to take out that skirmisher cab. That is brilliant. That worked perfectly. Get them to rout and then get out. Get out, get out, get out. Let's draw them back. Draw them back. Now our troops are over here, and we're actually going to get them to move around. Whoa. Move them around to here. Get those guys out. Get those guys out. We may lose this troop. We're going to swing around and capture him. He wasn't expecting for me to turn around there, I don't think. And yeah, he is going to get slightly owned. So I'm going to bring most, if not all, of my I will bring my cataphracts. Actually, no. They are not good against melee defense, so we'll keep them out of the battle if at all possible. Get those guys out. Oh, that general's coming in. We're just really confusing the crap out of them, which is awesome. They're holding it in tight, though. They are keeping it tight because they know, I'm assuming, they know that their advantage is in their spears. And so they're going to try and keep it super tightly packed. Everyone, run. So they're over there. It looks like they know what they're doing. Like I said, they're keeping tightly packed. They kind of want to replay some of the battles that I've done. simply because they've implemented some new things into here and making it work really, really well. Okay. Alright, so we're moving. Get these guys over here. And again, see if we can't find a way to keep these camel infantry working. Are we going to be able? We're not. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh well. No, everyone run. If we run, I think we can make it. We'll lose a little bit of energy, which will give us a slight disadvantage, but I don't think it'll be enough to where it'll matter. I'm going to draw the rest of their cav over here, hopefully. Draw them away, and that's when I'll spring my camel-mounted infantry attack. And hopefully it gets executed, like, really, really well. Here we go, here we go, here we go. A Gima Cav against Arab Cataphracts. Who will win? Nobody knows. Oh, that was epic. Just mounting over that hill. Crashing into each other, and then we're going to bring these guys around. And we've got a big epic clash going on here. Oh, this is going to work brilliantly, guys. Brace your spears at the last second. We've routed those guys. Not going to get to see these guys attack in per se, but they will do pretty good. We're going to go ahead and do that. They've engaged their Gima Cav. Excuse me. And we're going to engage all of our cataphracts against them. Get ready for our melee dudes to attack. Oh no, get back, get back. Need you guys to work. We're going to sacrifice you guys. How are they holding up? We're holding up all right. I'm going to go ahead, shove these guys, these royal sword bearers, see if I can't kill them. There we go. Throw your spears, dude. Throw them. Well, they're going to get wrecked. Worthy sacrifice, because that allows us to actually get our guys back here. Oh, man, they're routing already. We're not going to get to use them. No. Their general's already routed. No, we're not going to get to flank them like I wanted to. I'm actually going to pull these guys back because I really want them to get engaged into this battle. If these guys rout, it'll be perfect, but here's what I mean. Look how fast these guys are. And so I'm going to get them back here. And then we're going to unmount, and we will have 3 fully usable units of spearmen, which is just be unreal. We're going to mop up with these guys just because, just to give them something to do. I don't want them standing there the whole time. Come on, hurry up. Unmount, all of you. And then boom, just like that, we have 3 full stacks of spearmen ready to go. That is awesome. That's amazing. Oh, that's just really cool. Good job, Ancient Empires developers. I'm really like this mechanic. I mean, look at that, just like that. They're fresh. They are ready to rumble. These guys are tired. They're not really going to want to... Oh my word, this is just really cool. As you can see, they're trying to pull back a little bit. This is where we're going to get some slow-mo action in. Because again, these guys are just surrounded. Oh man, that's awesome. And then they're just completely fresh. I mean, completely 100% fresh troops. Only their horses are a wee bit tired. There we go. I think we're seeing some routing here. Let's get this going on. Oh, that looks very cinematic, very epic. Yep, I think those pike have routed. They're routing. Oh yeah, we got this. Hand and foot. There we go. Awesome. In the battle, decisive victory, piece of cake. We lost 250 units going up against the Ptolemaic Kingdom. Again, we routed their cav very quickly, very easily. 206 kills right there. That's awesome. 292 over there. But again, those guys, they can just swing around and then you completely flank them. Just 100%. It's so amazing. I really like the Saba. They have a good potential to shake things up in the Ancient Empires world. I may see about even playing them in the campaign. I don't know. There's so many factions in there that we'll just have to see. But I hope you enjoyed the Saba and you see their potential. They're not just some random desert faction that doesn't count as a minor faction because they're next to the Ptolemaic Kingdom. They will actually be doing some damage. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace.